Okay, so welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to talk about someone that I met like 20 years ago. And he was very nice to me. And I was so naive that I didn't even know who he was. So he was Tacoma's OGCB. And at the time, I met House's mom. Her name was Karen. And at that time, before I met him, what I wanted to say to you guys, why my relationship with him is so good. So when I met him on a chat line. So we talked for 4 months before we even met. He knew that I was scared of men because I had a fear of men because had went through a divorce, and it was just my thing. It wasn't nothing about my kid's father that made me fearful of him because he was a good father to me and he was very loving and caring. But we were just young, and sometimes you go through things. So when I met Tacoma Hilltop OGCB, I think there was an age difference between me and him. It might have been 10 years or something like that. But there was an age difference between me and him. So, but he was very, very mature at the time. And we talked for 4 months on the phone. We got to know each other. We met at KFC. When I met Tacoma's Hilltop OGCB, I lived in a $700,000 home. I had a brand new van and I had a brand new car. And at that time, um, I had been a preschool teacher and a fourth grade teacher, and I was given the position to be a director to direct this new facility that they were going to open in King County. So when I met him, me and him became very close. I met everybody, all of his friends. I met Karen, and I kind of bonded with Karen because one thing about Karen, and she's Tacoma's OG CB's House's mom, I could tell her something and I didn't have to worry about it going anywhere. And since I was so naive as a church girl, going to church every day, being in church 4 hours, sometimes 5 hours after my pastor was casting the devil out of people, that was all I know. I didn't know that he was Tacoma's Hilltop OGCB and housing them. They were really, really nice because I met all of the brothers and I met Katina. And so, and then I met Adrian because we went to go get Zeta, pick up his baby's daddy. I mean, his baby's his daughter. I'm sorry, his daughter Zeta, and met his baby's mother, Adrian, because we went to go get Zeta. And then I met Andre. So in meeting him, he was a very, very good person. And when I met Katina, she was a very, very good person to me. And um you guys, they were so nice. They were so sweet. So Katina moved in with me, and so we had all of the children together because that's the house was just that big. And CB, he was kind of like looking after the boys. Him and I think it was Tyrone. I can't remember. But I had so much fun with them being a nerd in a square that I didn't even know I didn't even know what they were. So but I don't regret it. It's what I'm telling you. That was the best person that I met besides my kid's father. And when I was going through the situation I was going through, and CB took me to meet House's mom, Karen, and sometimes I could talk personally to her, and she would tell me stuff before she got sick, and she would tell me, don't do this or don't do that, do this, because some things I just didn't know about Tacoma because I would be in church so much. And that's all I knew: church, going to 5 o'clock early morning prayer. I would put my children on the altar, being with missionaries who was married for 20 and 30 years and their husband was retired military. So this was my life, and I have friends who've been married, and I have a cousin who's been with the same man since she was 14 years old. So these are my life is made up of these type of people. And then I wasn't from Washington, so that was another thing too, because I came here through military. So, and my family was military, and my aunt, she was a doctor for 40 years in the state of Washington. So this was all my life. But CB and House and them, they were the best people that I met because they showed me love. And one thing CB showed me was love. You know what love was, because we were friends for 4 months. We had no sexual contact until after that 4 months. So we had an understanding, So he's somebody I ain't gonna never forget. And he was like a best friend to me. He was so sweet, you guys. So if you read something bad about him, to me, that's not true. It doesn't matter to me what he does. I look at how he treated me and my kids, and I looked at how Karen, House's mom, accepted me into her home, and I love them for that, because that time it wasn't so much that I needed sex, it was that I needed somebody to talk to going through a divorce, and living in a $700,000 home. And the people next door to me, they had won the lottery. You can look it up in the newspaper. It's all true. So, and most of CB friends came to my house. That house was really nice. I had a brand new car and a brand new van. So we had some fun together, So, and I'm talking about this because surviving cancer and surviving coronavirus, you need to talk about something that's good in your life, because you only gonna live one time. You only gonna live one time. Those were the best persons I met. And Calvin, he's a very beautiful person, soul, mind, body, and spirit. And he knows how to take care of children and women. From the time that I met him, he showed me, he was around a whole bunch of kids. He had a whole bunch of family members, which is good for kids, and seeing and raising kids every day. And think he's a wonderful person, and so is House, because I was going through something at that time when I met CB. But I met all of his friends, and they was really nice to me. And that's important in life, because you only gonna live one time. And I thank God for all of them. And I would give them prayers too, and pray for all of them like I always do, and I still do. But if Katina's out there, I miss you, Katina. So I survived coronavirus. So this is why I'm telling you the good part of my life. I've had all good people in my life. Just one bad person I met in 2015, and that was that Chaka guy.